In the quiet stillness of the night, you find yourself transported to a peaceful garden under the soft glow of a full moon, surrounded by the gentle rustling of leaves and the soothing sound of a distant fountain. You encounter none other than Marcus Aurelius, the wise Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. In this dreamlike realm, where time slows and the world fades away, Marcus welcomes you into a calming conversation, inviting you to explore the deepest questions of life, purpose, and peace. Let his timeless wisdom guide you through a tranquil journey, perfect for reflection before the comfort of sleep. Part 1. The Quiet Garden. The world around you fades into a gentle silence, as if time itself has slowed. The air is cool, carrying the scent of damp earth and blooming flowers. You find yourself standing in a garden, a vast, serene expanse where the trees stretch toward the sky, their branches swaying ever so slightly in the soft evening breeze. The ground beneath your feet is warm, a mix of stone paths and rich, lush grass that cushions your every step. The space feels both vast and intimate, as though it has existed for centuries, untouched by the rush of time. Above you, the stars begin to appear, twinkling like ancient eyes watching from a faraway world. The moon rises slowly, casting its gentle glow across the landscape, giving everything a silver sheen. A nearby fountain trickles softly, the sound a quiet lullaby to the soul, while distant birds call their last songs of the day. The garden feels endless, yet every corner is perfectly at peace. As you walk deeper into the garden, you notice a figure standing beneath a great olive tree. The silhouette is calm, steady, as though waiting. As you draw closer, you see his features clearly. The strong yet kind face of a man who carries wisdom in every wrinkle, the expression of one who has pondered the nature of life itself for many years. He is Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor. And yet, in this place, he is not a ruler. He is a philosopher, a teacher, a fellow traveler on the path of existence. His eyes meet yours with a warmth that invites you in, as if he has been expecting you. "Ah, I see you found your way here," Marcus says with a voice that is both gentle and authoritative, like the rustling of leaves in the wind. It is a peaceful place, is it not? A place where the mind can rest and the heart can listen. You nod, feeling a sense of tranquility wash over you. The world around you feels suspended, like you are no longer bound by the usual passage of time. Marcus gestures to the space around you, inviting you to sit by the tree. "Come, sit with me for a while. The night is long, and there is much to discuss. Life, purpose, the soul. These are things we often think about, yet rarely speak of. Let us talk, and perhaps we will find some answers together." You settle beside him, the soft grass beneath you offering comfort. The sound of the fountain mingles with the distant calls of the night birds. The stars above seem to watch with interest, as if awaiting the conversation that is about to unfold. "I have often wondered," Marcus begins, his gaze lifted to the heavens, "why we are so quick to seek external things for happiness. We look to wealth, to power, to recognition. But in the end, these things do not satisfy. They are fleeting. We chase them as one chases shadows, thinking they will bring us peace, but they only bring more unrest." He pauses, turning his gaze back to you, as if inviting you to share your thoughts. "You see, the only thing we can truly control is our own mind. Our thoughts, our reactions, our choices. They are the only realm where we can find true sovereignty. Everything else, our circumstances, the actions of others, the opinions of the world, is beyond our grasp." A cool breeze rustles the leaves of the olive tree, and you feel as though the very air is alive with this ancient wisdom. "Think of it this way," Marcus continues. "The world is like a river, constantly flowing. We cannot stop the current, nor can we control its direction, but we can choose how we navigate it. Do we allow the waters to carry us aimlessly, or do we steer our course with purpose?" He gives you a soft smile, his eyes reflecting a depth of understanding that seems to reach across time itself. What do you think, my friend? Have you found peace in the flow of life? Or do you still struggle with the currents that surround you? The question hangs in the air, as soft and inviting as the night itself. The garden seems to hold its breath, waiting for your response. Part 2. The flow of life. The silence between you and Marcus deepens, as if the world itself is giving you space to think. The soft trickle of the fountain fills the quiet, a soothing sound, and the moonlight shimmers across the garden, creating long, delicate shadows. In this peaceful place, the weight of your own thoughts seems to have lightened, and the question Marcus posed lingers in your mind. Have I found peace in the flow of life? You ask softly, feeling the weight of the words settle within you. I don't know. Sometimes I feel as though I am swept along by forces beyond my control. There are moments when I find calm, but they are often fleeting. Life has a way of pulling me in many directions, and I struggle to maintain my center. Marcus nods slowly, his face a portrait of understanding. Ah, yes, you speak of the human condition. We are all caught in the current, and often it feels as though we are powerless against it. But the truth is, my friend, we do not control the river itself. We control how we respond to its flow. He leans back against the sturdy trunk of the olive tree, his hands resting gently on his lap. The silver light of the moon highlights the wisdom in his gaze, and you feel as though each word he speaks is a carefully placed stone on the path to understanding. Imagine, Marcus says, that life is like a grand symphony. The instruments play their parts, each contributing to the whole, but the music is not always harmonious. There are dissonant chords, moments of chaos, moments of stillness. We cannot control the music, only how we choose to dance to it. He pauses for a moment, as if the weight of his own words has settled within him. But we are not passive in this dance. Our choices, our reactions, these are the steps we take. The music may change, but how we move within it is ours to decide. The breeze shifts again, rustling the leaves above. You take a deep breath, the cool night air filling your lungs, and in that moment, you feel something stir within you, a quiet realization. Then, you say, the key is not in resisting the flow, but in learning how to move with it. Marcus's smile is subtle but knowing, like a secret shared between old friends. Exactly. The Stoic way is not about denying the hardships of life, but accepting them as part of the whole. There is no peace to be found in fighting the inevitable, for that only brings suffering. Instead, we must learn to align ourselves with the natural order, to move in harmony with the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. He gestures to the garden around you, where the trees sway in the wind and the flowers open their petals to the moonlight. Look at this garden. The trees do not struggle against the wind. They bend with it. The flowers do not fight against the night. They bloom within it. Nature does not resist change. It embraces it. You watch the leaves rustle in the breeze, the gentle sway of the branches, and a sense of calm begins to settle over you. It is as if the garden itself is offering you an example, showing you that peace lies not in resistance, but in acceptance. Tell me, Marcus says, his voice gentle, when you face challenges in life, times of uncertainty, hardship, or confusion, how do you react? Do you fight against them, or do you try to accept them as part of your journey? The question is posed with the same quiet patience that defines the garden itself, allowing you the space to reflect deeply on your own reactions. The moon above seems to shine brighter now, casting its light more fully upon you, as if it is waiting for your answer. Part 3. The nature of acceptance. The moonlight bathes the garden in a soft, ethereal glow, as if the world itself is holding its breath, waiting for your response. The question Marcus has posed lingers in your mind, weaving itself into your thoughts like the threads of a tapestry. When you face challenges, times of uncertainty, hardship, or confusion, how do you react? The question seems so simple, yet it calls upon the very core of your existence, the way you interact with the world. You take a deep breath, the cool night air filling your lungs, grounding you in the present moment. I suppose, you begin slowly, that I often fight against the challenges I face. I resist them, trying to push them away or make them disappear. When life becomes difficult, I want to change it, to control it, to return to a place where everything feels calm and predictable. Marcus listens attentively, his eyes never leaving yours, a quiet understanding radiating from him. He nods gently, as if affirming what you have said. Ah, yes, that is a natural instinct. We all seek comfort, a sense of safety, a return to the familiar. But life, my friend, is not a place of permanence. It is a river, a flowing current that will never cease its movement. And just as the water flows and changes, so too do the circumstances of our lives. He pauses for a moment, as if considering his next words carefully. The breeze shifts again, rustling the leaves of the olive tree, and the sound is like a soft whisper, carrying the weight of the ancient wisdom that Marcus has gathered over his years. When we resist life, he continues, we are like a tree trying to stand against the wind. The wind will come, no matter how strong we stand. And yet, by bending with it, by yielding to it, the tree survives. It does not break, for it has learned the art of surrender. It is not weakness, but strength, to accept the forces of nature and move with them rather than against them. He looks at you with a gaze full of kindness, his voice soft but firm. The same is true for you. When you resist the flow of life, you are only causing yourself suffering. The more you fight, the more you become entangled in the very forces you wish to escape. But when you accept life as it is, when you allow it to move through you without resistance, you find peace. A pause hangs in the air as you reflect on his words, the stillness of the garden offering a deep sense of comfort. The night continues to unfold around you, and the sound of the fountain, the rustling of the leaves, all seem to echo the truth of what Marcus has shared. But how does one learn to accept, you ask, your voice quiet, almost hesitant? How can I shift from fighting the flow to moving with it? Marcus's smile is gentle, his eyes filled with the warmth of a teacher guiding his student. It begins with understanding that resistance does not change the world, it only changes you. Acceptance is not passivity, it is an active choice to see things as they are, without judgment or the need to control them. It is a choice to align your mind with the natural order of things, to trust that life, in all its complexity, has its own wisdom. He gestures to the world around you, the stars above, the trees, the flowers, all of it moving in perfect harmony. Nature does not fight against itself. It grows, it flows, it changes. And so too must you. There will always be things beyond your control, things that will challenge you. But when you accept them as part of your journey, you will find that they no longer have the power to disturb your peace. You feel a sense of relief wash over you, as though the weight of resistance is being lifted from your shoulders. The garden seems to breathe with you, its stillness a reflection of the calm that is beginning to settle within you. You see, Marcus adds softly, there is great freedom in acceptance. It is not a surrender to weakness, but a surrender to strength. For when you stop fighting life, you free yourself from the burden of endless struggle. You learn to live with grace, to dance with the flow rather than against it. The stars above seem to twinkle brighter now, their light soft and steady. The moon casts its silver glow across the garden, and you feel as though the entire universe is in perfect harmony. In this moment, surrounded by the wisdom of Marcus and the tranquility of the garden, you realize that perhaps peace is not something you seek, but something you allow to unfold within you. Part 4. The impermanence of life. The silence stretches comfortably between you and Marcus, the soft sounds of the night filling the air. The garden around you, bathed in moonlight, feels timeless, eternal even. Yet, as Marcus continues to speak, you realize that the stillness of the moment is in fact a reminder of the transience of all things. Marcus's voice breaks the quiet. Again, his words slow and deliberate, like the thoughtful turning of a page in an ancient book. There is another truth that often eludes us, he begins, his gaze fixed on the stars above. We tend to think of life as something that should remain unchanged, a fixed state where we can find our peace and stay there forever. But peace, like everything else, is fleeting. Life itself is impermanent, always changing, always flowing. It is not meant to stay the same. He looks at you, his eyes both deep and kind, like an ocean of wisdom. And this too is something we must accept. The impermanence of life, the fleeting nature of all things. Our time here is but a moment, and it is a mistake to cling to it, to believe that anything in this world can last forever. But in that truth, there is great freedom. You feel a subtle shift within you as you consider his words, a slight unraveling of something deep inside. The very nature of the garden, so beautiful, so serene, yet so transient, seems to reflect Marcus's words. The flowers bloom, and yet they will wither. The trees sway in the breeze, and yet they will lose their leaves. The stars twinkle above, but their light will one day fade, just as the moon will rise and fall in endless cycles. Do you see? Marcus continues, his voice gentle yet firm. When we cling to the illusion of permanence, we set ourselves up for suffering. We resist change, we resist loss, and in doing so, we invite frustration and disappointment. But when we understand that everything is temporary, that everything, even our own lives, is a passing moment, we are freed from the burden of expectation. His words linger in the cool night air, and the breeze that flows through the olive tree seems to carry their weight, rustling the leaves in a soft rhythm. Think of the seasons, Marcus says, his gaze turning to the distant horizon where the sky meets the earth. Spring brings new life, summer brings warmth, autumn brings change, and winter brings rest. But no season lasts forever. Each one flows into the next, and we must learn to move with them, to adapt to the inevitable cycles of life. He turns his attention back to you, his eyes searching yours as though seeking to understand your heart. Tell me, my friend, he says softly, how do you respond when you face loss or change? Do you resist it, or do you embrace it as part of the journey? The question feels heavy, yet liberating, as though it opens a door to a deeper understanding of your own nature. The stars above twinkle in quiet agreement, and the garden, in all its stillness, seems to hum with the unspoken truth of Marcus's words. Part 5. Embracing the flow of change. The garden around you remains tranquil, a peaceful witness to the conversation, unfolding beneath the moonlit sky. The fountain continues its gentle murmur, and the leaves of the olive tree rustle in harmony with the soft breeze. But Marcus's words, so simple yet profound, have stirred something deep within you. The idea of impermanence, of life as a river that flows without ceasing, feels like a truth that reverberates in your very being. You take a slow breath, the cool air filling your lungs, and for a moment, you allow yourself to consider the nature of change in your own life. I think, you begin, your voice soft, that I have often resisted change. It's not just loss, but the simple act of things shifting, whether in my surroundings, my relationships, or within myself, that causes me unease. I try to hold on to things as they are because there's comfort in the familiar. But the truth is, I feel the weight of that resistance. Marcus nods slowly, his expression calm, but his eyes hold a depth of understanding that seems to go beyond words. Yes, my friend, resistance is the source of much suffering. To resist change is to resist the very nature of life itself. Life does not remain still. It moves, it evolves, it transforms. And we too must evolve with it. His voice softens, becoming almost a whisper, as if sharing a secret only the stars could hear. The secret is not to fight change, but to embrace it. Not as an enemy, but as an ally. For in every change, there is an opportunity to grow, to learn, to become more attuned to the rhythms of life. You look around you at the garden, the flowers, the trees, the stars above, and you realize that all of it is in constant flux. The Mai, trees shed their leaves in the autumn, only to grow new ones in the spring. The flowers bloom and fade, their beauty existing in the fleeting moment. Even the stars, distant and ancient, are constantly shifting in their courses across the night sky. Nothing is still. Nothing is permanent. How do we learn to embrace change, you ask, the question feeling like a natural continuation of the conversation. How do we move with it rather than against it? Marcus smiles gently, as if he has been waiting for this question. He gestures to the garden around you once more, his hand sweeping in a slow arc to encompass the world itself. We embrace change by accepting that it is a natural part of life. Just as the seasons change, so too does everything else. The flowers bloom, then wither, then bloom again. The stars rise and set, and time itself moves forward, never pausing, never turning back. He looks at you with a quiet intensity. It is in our nature to resist the unknown, to fear what we cannot control. But this fear only keeps us trapped in the illusion of permanence. If we wish to find peace, we must first let go of the need to control the flow of life. We must learn to trust that, just as the seasons follow one another, so too will our lives unfold as they are meant to. The moonlight above seems to brighten, casting a soft, silvery glow across the garden. The world feels expansive and infinite, yet at the same time, intimately close, as if the entire universe is wrapped in the gentle embrace of the present moment. To trust life, Marcus continues, his voice steady and wise, is to surrender the illusion of control and accept the flow of things. It is not about passively waiting for life to happen, but about actively participating in its unfolding, with awareness, with acceptance, and with gratitude. When we embrace the change that comes, we open ourselves to the richness of the journey. The breeze picks up once more, and the rustling of the leaves seems to carry with it the soft murmur of the universe, echoing Marcus's words. The night around you feels vast and full of possibility, and you realize that the resistance you've carried for so long is not a shield, but a weight that has prevented you from truly living. You see, Marcus says, his voice lowering to a soft murmur, it is not the absence of change that brings peace. It is the presence of acceptance. To flow with life, to adapt to its currents, and to trust that every moment, whether joyful or sorrowful, has its purpose. As he speaks, you feel a shift within yourself. The weight of resistance, of holding on too tightly to the past, begins to lift, leaving space for something new, something freeing. The garden around you, the moon above, the stars, they all seem to confirm this truth, as if they have always known it, and now you are only beginning to understand. I think I understand now, you say softly, as the truth of Marcus's words settles in your heart. Life is not something to be controlled or fixed. It is something to be lived, fully, freely, with acceptance of its ever-changing nature. Marcus nods, a look of quiet satisfaction in his eyes. Yes, my friend, and in this understanding you will find peace, not in the absence of change, but in your ability to move with it, to dance with it, as a leaf dances on the wind. Part 6. The art of self-reflection. The garden, still and eternal, seems to listen with rapt attention as you reflect on Marcus's words. The gentle hum of the world around you, the soft rustle of leaves, the quiet murmur of the fountain, the distant call of night birds, creates a soothing rhythm, a backdrop to the slow unfolding of your thoughts. Marcus sits beside you, his posture relaxed but full of quiet dignity, as if he has been here before. in this place of contemplation, time and time again. The moonlight bathes him in its silver glow, casting soft shadows on his weathered face, making him appear both ancient and timeless, like a figure carved from the very essence of wisdom. "Tell me," he asks, his voice as calm as the still air, "do you spend time in reflection? Do you seek to understand yourself, your nature, your place in the world?" The question is gentle, but it carries with it a certain weight, as if he is inviting you into a deeper level of contemplation. His gaze meets yours, patient and knowing, as though he is watching you unfold the answers from within yourself. "I do try to reflect," you reply, "but it's often hard to know where to begin. Life moves so quickly, and sometimes I feel as if I am caught in the current, swept along by the demands of the world, without enough time to truly look inward." Marcus nods, his expression thoughtful. Yes, the world often moves with such haste. It pushes us forward, urging us to act, to achieve, to acquire. But reflection, true, deep reflection, requires us to pause, to step back from the noise, and to look inward, with clarity and purpose. He takes a deep breath, as if drawing strength from the very air around him. Self-reflection is the art of observing oneself without judgment, of seeing who you truly are beneath the layers of conditioning and external expectations. It is a practice that requires patience, humility, and honesty. You listen intently, the stillness of the night allowing his words to sink in deeply. The garden seems to hold its breath as Marcus continues. "Too often," he says softly, "we look outward for answers, seeking approval from others, chasing after wealth, status, or pleasure, believing that these things will bring us fulfillment. But the truth is, all the answers you seek are already within you. The mind, when still and clear, can reveal its own wisdom. It is through reflection that you come to understand your true nature." He pauses, allowing the weight of his words to settle. The moon continues its slow ascent in the sky, its light soft and steady, as though it is watching over your quiet conversation. "You see," Marcus continues, "self-reflection is not merely about finding answers to life's big questions. It is about coming to understand the small, everyday moments that make up our existence. It is about observing your thoughts, your reactions, your desires, and your fears without judgment. And in that quiet observation, you begin to understand what is truly important to you, what is aligned with your deepest values." He turns his gaze toward the horizon, where the sky is slowly darkening, the stars beginning to shine through the twilight. Every day is an opportunity for reflection, to examine your actions, your words, your thoughts, to ask yourself, am I living in accordance with my true nature? Am I acting with integrity, with wisdom, with kindness? The night around you feels deeper now, as if the very universe is giving you the space to reflect on his words. The garden, the trees, the fountain, all of it seems to pause, holding its breath, awaiting your response. "How does one begin this practice?" you ask softly, your voice barely a whisper against the stillness of the garden. "How can I learn to look inward, to truly understand myself?" Marcus smiles, a gentle, knowing smile, as though he has anticipated this question. "It begins with awareness," he says. "In every moment, pause and observe. Notice your thoughts, your feelings, your actions. Don't judge them. Don't react to them. Simply observe. With time, you will begin to see patterns, to understand the motivations behind your actions, and from there, you will begin to understand who you truly are." He pauses, as if giving you space to absorb the significance of his words. It is a lifelong practice. There will be days when you feel clarity, and other days when you feel lost. But through it all, the goal is the same: to align yourself with the truth of who you are, and to live in harmony with that truth. The night air feels even cooler now, a soft breeze brushing against your skin. The stars above seem to shimmer, brighter, as if they too are encouraging you to look inward, to seek understanding, to find your place in the vastness of the universe. In this way, Marcus adds, you come to know yourself, not as a collection of labels or external identities, but as a being in tune with the natural order. You become a part of the river, not someone struggling against it. You sit in silence, the gentle hum of the garden filling the space between you. The weight of his words hangs in the air, settling into your heart. It feels as if the entire world around you, the trees, the flowers, the stars, are quietly waiting for you to begin this journey of self-understanding. Part 7. The power of the present moment. The quiet garden seems to deepen as Marcus's words continue to echo within you. The night, with its soft whispers and stillness, holds a sacred space for contemplation. The fountain murmurs in the background, the moonlight casting its silvery glow across the landscape, and the stars above remain constant, timeless witnesses to the conversation unfolding beneath them. Marcus's gaze rests on you, his expression serene, as though he has already seen the answers in your heart. Now that you understand the importance of self-reflection, he says gently, there is one more thing we must discuss, the power of the present moment. The phrase hangs in the air between you, and something about it feels immediately profound, like a key that unlocks a deeper door within you. The present moment, Marcus continues, is the only true reality. We spend so much time dwelling on the past, regretting what we've lost or failed to do, or looking to the future with anxiety, wondering what may come. But both the past and the future are mere illusions. The past is gone, and the future has not yet arrived. All we have, all we can truly experience, is the present. He pauses, allowing the stillness of the garden to settle into your being. The stars above seem to shine brighter, the moon's light more intense, as if urging you to listen more closely. The past is like a dream, he says softly, his voice carrying the weight of truth. And the future is like a shadow. We cannot change what has already occurred, nor can we control what has not yet arrived. To dwell on them is to deny the beauty and the power of the now, the only moment we can truly experience. He looks at you with a quiet intensity, his eyes full of a depth that seems to span across time. Tell me, my friend, he asks, his voice gentle, how often do you find yourself caught in the past or the future? How often do you miss the beauty of the present moment because you are too focused on what was or what may be? The question feels like a gentle challenge, an invitation to consider how much of your life has been spent outside the present. The night around you continues its steady rhythm, the garden bathed in the soft glow of the moon, as if it is holding space for you to reflect on the nature of time itself. I often find myself thinking about the past, you reply slowly, your voice carrying the weight of unspoken truths. I replay memories, wonder about what could have been, or regret choices I made. And at times, I am consumed with worry about the future, what will happen, what I must do, what I fear may come. It's hard to stay in the present. Marcus nods, his expression one of understanding. It is a natural thing, this tendency to dwell on what is gone or what is yet to come. But the power lies in the now, in the present moment. In this moment, you are alive. In this moment, you are breathing, feeling, experiencing all that the world has to offer. It is a gift, the only gift that is truly yours. The garden, the moon, the stars, they all seem to amplify his words, as if nature itself is reminding you of the preciousness of each fleeting moment. You see, Marcus continues, his voice soft but steady, when we are present, when we are fully engaged in the now, we find a kind of peace that transcends time. We are not burdened by the weight of the past or the anxiety of the future. We are free to experience life as it is, without the filters of regret or fear. He gestures to the garden, where the flowers sway in the gentle breeze. The trees stand tall and still, and the stars twinkle in the vastness of the night sky. Nature does not dwell on the past or worry about the future. It simply exists. The flower blooms in the moment, the tree grows in the moment, and the stars shine in the moment. And so must you. A deep sense of calm begins to settle within you, as if the weight of time itself has been lifted. The present moment, the here and now, feels more vivid than ever before. The garden around you, the soft rustling of leaves, the sound of the fountain, the stillness of the night, they all seem to draw you into this moment, reminding you of the beauty of simply being. It is in this moment, Marcus says, his voice quiet and assured, that you find your true self, not in the past, not in the future, but in the present. The present is where life happens. It is where you are truly alive. He turns his gaze toward the moon, its light casting a gentle glow on the world around you. And it is in this present moment that you have the power to choose how you respond to the world, to your thoughts, to your emotions, to choose how you live, not as a reaction to the past or the future, but as an expression of who you are in this moment. The garden is still, but now it feels alive with the presence of this truth. The night air is crisp, the stars continue their steady dance across the sky, and for the first time in a long while, you feel as though you are fully here, fully present. Part 8. The wisdom of letting go as you sit beneath the olive tree, bathed in the soft light of the moon. The tranquility of the garden feels even more profound. The stars above seem to stretch farther than before, the vastness of the universe reflected in the stillness of your own mind. Marcus's words about the present moment echo within you, and you realize just how much of your life has been spent either clinging to the past or worrying about the future. But now, in this moment of stillness, there is a new understanding taking root within you. The power of the present, the importance of accepting life as it is, feels clearer than ever before. The garden around you seems to mirror this newfound awareness, alive yet at peace with the ebb and flow of time. And yet, as you continue to sit in silence with Marcus, another thought stirs within you. A question, one that has quietly lingered in the back of your mind, rises to the surface. Marcus, you ask, your voice soft, yet filled with curiosity. How do we let go of the things that weigh us down? How do we release the attachments, the fears, the regrets that seem to cling to us, even when we know they only hold us back? Marcus's eyes meet yours with a quiet understanding, and for a moment, he is silent, as though contemplating your question. The garden remains still, the fountain's gentle murmur filling the air with a sense of peace. Letting go, he begins slowly, his voice calm and measured, is one of the greatest challenges we face. We hold on to many things in this life, memories, people, ambitions, even our own identities, and these attachments shape the way we see the world. But true peace, true freedom, comes when we learn to release them, to let go of what no longer serves us. He pauses, as if gathering his thoughts, and then continues. But this does not mean we abandon everything. It means we release our grip on those things that we cling to out of fear, out of desire, or out of habit. We learn to recognize when our attachments are causing us suffering, when they are preventing us from moving forward. Marcus's gaze turns to the stars above, his eyes reflecting the wisdom of ages. The Stoics believed that we should not attach ourselves to things that are beyond our control. We cannot control the actions of others, nor can we control the passing of time. We cannot hold on to what is fleeting, for it will eventually slip through our fingers. The art of letting go is the art of seeing things as they truly are, without the layers of attachment that we place upon them. You listen closely, the weight of his words settling within you, like a stone dropped into a still pond, ripples spreading outward. The garden, the fountain, the moon, they all seem to quiet even further, as if offering space for you to absorb the meaning of this teaching. Letting go is not a rejection of the past or of our desires. Marcus continues, but a recognition that we do not need to hold on so tightly. We do not need to force life to be what we want it to be. Life will unfold in its own way, and we must learn to trust in that process. We must learn to release our attachment to the outcome and find peace in the journey itself. He looks at you then, his expression kind, yet resolute. Tell me, my friend, he asks gently, what are the things in your life that you hold on to most tightly? What are the attachments that cause you to struggle or to suffer? His question is soft, but it carries a deep weight, one that invites you to look inward, to examine the attachments that may be holding you back. For a moment, you feel the quiet stirrings of your own heart. You realize that there are indeed things you have clung to, memories of past mistakes, fears of an uncertain future, and even the image of who you think you should be. These attachments have shaped your life, but they have also created obstacles, keeping you from fully embracing the present, from truly letting go and living freely. I think, you begin slowly, I have held on to regrets and fears. Regrets about the choices I've made, and fears about what may come. I often find myself living in the shadow of what I think I should have done differently, or worrying about what might happen if I fail. Marcus listens, his expression steady and compassionate. These are common attachments, he says quietly. Regret is the fear of the past, and fear is the anxiety of the future. But both of these are distractions from the present. They rob us of the peace that is available to us right now. He pauses for a moment, as if considering his next words carefully. The key to letting go is understanding that you do not need to carry the weight of regret or fear with you. You can acknowledge them, yes, but you do not need to allow them to control you. You are not defined by your past mistakes, nor are you bound by the uncertainties of the future. Marcus looks at you, his eyes filled with a deep kindness. Letting go is a process. It is not something that happens overnight, but something that you can practice every day. Each time you feel yourself clinging to the past or fearing the future, remind yourself that these things are beyond your control. Release your grip and trust that the present moment is enough. The garden around you seems to come alive with these words, the air filled with a sense of freedom, as though the very trees and flowers are nodding in agreement. Part 9. The serenity of acceptance. The quiet of the garden deepens, the gentle hum of the night, and the soft rustling of the leaves creating a sense of calm that envelops you. As Marcus's words about letting go settle within you, you begin to feel a shift, an easing, as if the burden you've carried for so long is being lifted, piece by piece. The garden, bathed in moonlight, seems to reflect this transformation, offering a mirror to the changes happening within. Marcus's gaze remains steady, his expression one of quiet assurance. The process of letting go, my friend, he says, his voice both gentle and firm, is not about forcing yourself to release all at once. It is not an act of rejection, but one of acceptance. You accept that the past is behind you and that the future is uncertain. You accept that life, in its ever-changing flow, cannot be controlled. And in this acceptance, you find peace. The stillness of the night seems to amplify his words, as though the very universe is holding its breath, waiting for you to understand. The soft glow of the moon above seems to intensify, casting a silver light over everything, as if underscoring the truth that Marcus speaks. The serenity of acceptance, Marcus continues, is the peace that comes when you stop struggling against life's inevitable flow. It is the understanding that there are things beyond your control, things that, try as you might, will always be outside your grasp. But in accepting these things, you free yourself from the burden of resistance. He pauses for a moment, as though to give you space to absorb the meaning of what he has just said. The garden around you feels still, yet alive with the pulse of life itself, as though it is in harmony with the deep truths being shared between you and Marcus. Think of a river, Marcus says, gesturing toward the quiet stream that winds its way through the garden, its surface shimmering in the moonlight. The water flows forward, never pausing, never looking back. It moves around rocks, it bends around obstacles, it changes its course when necessary, and yet it never struggles against the current. It simply moves. It is in perfect harmony with the flow of nature. He looks at you, his gaze soft yet piercing. So too must you be. When you accept the flow of life, you move in harmony with it. You stop struggling against the things you cannot change, and you begin to navigate life with grace and ease. The sound of the water flowing through the garden, the leaves rustling in the breeze, and the soft calls of distant birds seem to affirm Marcus's words. Everything around you feels attuned to the present moment, as though the entire world is participating in this quiet lesson. He gestures to the stars above, their steady light illuminating the vast expanse of the night sky. Every star in the sky, every leaf on the tree, every drop of water in the stream, they all play their part in the grand design. And so do you. When you live in accordance with virtue, you are aligning yourself with the natural order of the universe, contributing your own unique part to the whole. You pause, allowing the weight of his words to sink in. The garden around you, so quiet and peaceful, feels like a perfect representation of this unity. The trees, the flowers, the stars, the fountain, they are all part of the same moment, flowing together in quiet harmony, each contributing its unique beauty to the whole. Tell me, Marcus asks, his voice gentle but firm, how does it feel to know that you are part of something greater than yourself? That your actions, your thoughts, your very existence are connected to the vast, unbroken web of life? His question lingers in the cool night air, as though waiting for you to answer not just with words, but with the deep understanding that this truth invites. You feel a sense of awe, a realization that your life, with all its struggles and triumphs, is not a solitary journey. It is a journey that is interwoven with the lives of others, with the world itself, with the universe. The stars above seem to shine even brighter now, as if the entire cosmos is reflecting this new understanding within. You, the quiet peace of the garden wraps itself around you like a soft embrace, and you realize that in this moment, you are no longer separate from the world. You are a part of it, just as the stars, the trees, and the flowers are. Your life matters, Marcus says quietly, his words both simple and profound. And so does every life. We are all part of the same whole, moving together through the flow of time. When you live with virtue, you are contributing to the harmony of the universe. You are living in accordance with the natural order, and in doing so, you are fulfilling your purpose. Part 12. The Peace of the Soul. The garden remains still, the air thick with the deep wisdom that Marcus has shared with you, the quiet rustling of the leaves in the breeze, the soft murmur of the fountain, and the gentle glow of the moon above all seem to carry the weight of the profound truth you've just encountered. The world, vast and interconnected, feels at peace. And for the first time, you feel a deep sense of belonging, not just to this moment, but to everything that surrounds you. Marcus remains beside you, his presence both grounding and uplifting, as though he is a part of the very fabric of the universe itself. The soft glow of the moon lights his face, casting his features in a serene light. His eyes, filled with ancient wisdom, reflect the quiet assurance of one who has seen the world in all its chaos and beauty, and yet remains at peace. You have learned much this night, Marcus says, his voice as soft and steady as the garden around you. But there is one final truth that I must share with you, one that ties all the others together. It is the truth of the peace that comes from within, the peace of the soul. He pauses for a moment, allowing his words to hang in the air as though they are meant to settle deep within you, like seeds planted in fertile soil. The stillness of the garden grows even deeper, as if the entire world is holding its breath, waiting for the final revelation. The peace you seek, Marcus continues, is not found in external things. It is not found in wealth or status or success. It is not found in avoiding suffering or in achieving perfection. The peace of the soul comes from within, from living in accordance with virtue, from accepting the flow of life, and from understanding your place in the vastness of the universe. He looks at you, his gaze steady and kind. The soul, when aligned with the natural order, is free from fear, from anxiety, from regret. It is at peace because it understands that life, in all its imperfection and change, is exactly as it should be. It is at peace because it accepts that it is part of a greater whole, and that the journey itself, with all its trials and triumphs, is a path toward wisdom and understanding. The night around you seems to soften, the stars above twinkling, like ancient eyes that have witnessed countless souls walking this same path. The garden, with its quiet beauty, feels like a perfect reflection of the peace Marcus speaks of, a peace that transcends the fleeting distractions of the world and reaches deep into the heart. The soul that is at peace, Marcus continues, is like a calm river, flowing steadily, no matter the obstacles it encounters. It is not disturbed by the turbulence of the world, for it knows that the river will eventually find its way. It is content with the present moment, for it knows that every moment is a gift, a chance to live in accordance with nature, to contribute to the greater good, and to cultivate virtue. You sit in silence, the weight of his words settling deep within you like a quiet balm for the soul. The garden around you, the fountain, the trees, the stars, all of it seems to be in harmony with the truth Marcus has shared. You feel in this moment a deep sense of peace, not as something distant or unattainable, but as something already within you, waiting to be embraced. To live with peace, Marcus says softly, is not to seek to escape life's challenges, but to approach them with a calm and steady heart. It is to accept the impermanence of all things and to embrace the flow of life with grace. It is to live in accordance with virtue, to seek wisdom, to act with kindness, and to cultivate courage in the face of adversity. He stands slowly, his movements deliberate, as if the very act of standing is a reflection of the peace he carries within him. And so, he says, turning toward you with a quiet smile, your journey does not end here. The peace of the soul is something that must be nurtured every day, in every moment. It is a practice, a way of living. But when you live with peace, you are in harmony with the universe. And in that harmony, you will find fulfillment. You stand with him, feeling the soft earth beneath your feet, the cool night air against your skin. The garden is still, yet alive with the quiet hum of wisdom, of connection, of peace. Marcus gives you one last, knowing look, his eyes filled with a deep, unspoken understanding. The journey of life is not about reaching an end, but about living in alignment with your true nature, about growing in virtue, and about finding peace within yourself. When you live with that peace, you are in harmony with all things. And with that, he slowly begins to walk away, his form fading into the night, as if he is becoming one with the garden itself, a part of the timelessness of the universe. You stand there for a moment, the stillness of the garden surrounding you. The stars above shine brighter, the moon hangs more gently in the sky, and the fountain's soft murmur seems to echo in your heart. You realize that the peace you have sought has always been within you. It is the quiet acceptance of life's flow, the pursuit of virtue, and the understanding that you are part of something far greater than yourself. And with that understanding, you feel a deep sense of tranquility, a peace that transcends time, that lives within you, and that will guide you in every step of your journey. You see, Marcus continues, acceptance is not about giving up or resigning yourself to suffering. It is about understanding that life will unfold as it will, and that your role is not to control it, but to navigate it with wisdom, kindness and courage. You do not need to fight life. You need only to embrace it as it comes. There is a peacefulness in his words, a calm that seems to settle within your own heart, as though you too are beginning to understand the art of accepting life as it is. In this acceptance, Marcus adds, you find freedom. You are no longer burdened by the need to control outcomes, to dictate how things should be. Instead, you live fully in the present, with an open heart, ready to face whatever comes with grace and understanding. The stars above, the soft breeze, the garden, it all seems to harmonize with the stillness that now fills your being. The quiet peace of the moment is profound, as though you are no longer fighting against the flow of life, but rather moving with it, as naturally as the water moves through the stream. Part 10. The pursuit of virtue. The garden around you continues to breathe in time with your thoughts, the moon casting its gentle glow on the earth, as if it too is reflecting on the timeless truths shared between you and Marcus. The peace of the moment seems almost palpable, as though the very air has thickened with wisdom. Yet, despite the serenity that surrounds you, a part of you yearns for a deeper understanding, a question that rises gently within your heart. Marcus, you begin, your voice quiet. What is it then that we are meant to pursue in life, if not control or attachment? If life is impermanent and we must accept the flow of things, what is left for us to seek? What should we strive for? Marcus's expression softens as he listens to your question, and for a moment he is silent, as if considering the depth of what you have asked. The stars above seem to twinkle a little brighter, as though awaiting his answer, and the quiet rhythm of the garden continues, echoing the pulse of your shared inquiry. Ah, he says after a pause, his voice calm and steady. You ask about the highest pursuit in life, the pursuit of virtue. It is not wealth, nor fame, nor the fleeting pleasures of the world that we should seek. It is virtue that should guide our actions, that should shape our character, and that should be the foundation of our peace. He looks at you then, his eyes filled with the kind of wisdom that seems to transcend time itself. Virtue is the alignment of our actions with our highest values. It is living with integrity, wisdom, courage, and compassion. It is cultivating a character that is in harmony with the natural order and which reflects the truth of our nature as rational, purposeful beings. You feel a stirring within you, as though something deep inside is awakening to this truth. The garden around you seems to hold its breath, awaiting the unfolding of this conversation. The soft rustling of the leaves, the distant call of the birds, all seem to be in sync with the words Marcus speaks. Virtue, Marcus continues, is not something we acquire from the outside, but something that arises from within. It is the cultivation of the mind and the heart, the cultivation of qualities that allow us to live in accordance with reason and the natural laws of the universe. When we act in accordance with virtue, we find true fulfillment, because we are living in alignment with our true nature. He pauses for a moment, letting his words settle, and then adds, each day, we are presented with countless opportunities to practice virtue. It is not something that comes from grand, heroic deeds, but from the small, daily choices we make. Do we choose kindness over anger? Do we choose patience over frustration? Do we choose wisdom over ignorance? These are the moments where virtue is forged. You find yourself reflecting on these words, considering the choices you make in your own life. The quiet beauty of the garden around you seems to encourage this reflection, as though the very world is inviting you to consider how you too can live in harmony with virtue. And so, Marcus says, as though reading your thoughts, the pursuit of virtue is the pursuit of a life lived with purpose. It is not about seeking external rewards or recognition, but about cultivating the inner qualities that allow us to be at peace with ourselves and with the world. It is about becoming the best version of ourselves, not for the sake of others, but for the sake of our own soul. The night air feels even softer now, as if the very universe is enveloping you in its embrace. offering you the quiet space to consider these profound truths. The moon's light reflects on the water in the garden, casting shimmering ripples across the surface. The stars seem to grow brighter, as though they are guiding you toward this higher pursuit. Remember, Marcus says, his voice low and steady, virtue is not an end, but a journey. It is something we must practice every day, in every moment. It is the path to inner peace, to fulfillment, to a life well lived. And when we live in accordance with virtue, we are no longer swept along by the tides of fortune. We become the stewards of our own lives, navigating the currents of life with wisdom, courage, and grace. You sit in the stillness of the garden, the weight of Marcus's words settling deeply within you. The pursuit of virtue, the cultivation of integrity, wisdom, courage, and compassion, these are the things that truly matter. These are the things worth striving for. And as you sit there, under the silver light of the moon, you realize that perhaps this is the peace you've been seeking all along, not in the pursuit of control or external outcomes, but in the quiet practice of becoming the person you were always meant to be. Part 11. The unity of all things. The moon hangs high in the sky now, its light reflecting off the still waters of the fountain, casting a soft, ethereal glow over the garden. The air is cool, and the night feels almost sacred, as if the entire universe is holding space for the contemplations unfolding between you and Marcus. The serenity of the moment is palpable, a deep sense of peace settling in your chest as you continue to reflect on the wisdom shared with you. Marcus, ever patient, watches you with quiet attentiveness. His eyes seem to see beyond the present moment, as if they hold the accumulated knowledge of ages. After a long pause, during which the only sound is the gentle rustling of the leaves in the breeze, he speaks again. You are beginning to understand, my friend, Marcus says softly. But there is one more thing that must be considered in this journey of virtue, this pursuit of a life in alignment with nature. And that is the realization that everything in the universe is connected. All things, every person, every moment, every action are part of a greater whole. His words are simple, but they carry a depth that feels infinite. The garden, bathed in the soft glow of the moonlight, seems to resonate with the truth of what he says, as if nature itself is agreeing with him. Everything is connected, Marcus continues, his voice steady and calm. We often see ourselves as separate from the world around us, as individuals living apart from the universe. But in truth, we are all part of the same fabric, woven together by the same laws of nature. The trees, the flowers, the animals, the stars, the people, all of us are connected by the same universal principles. He looks at you, his gaze filled with a quiet intensity. The Stoic philosophy teaches us that this unity is not something to be feared or ignored. It is something to be embraced. For when we understand that we are part of the whole, we can begin to live in harmony with it. We no longer see ourselves as isolated beings, but as integral parts of a vast, interconnected cosmos. The night air seems to deepen, the stars above becoming more pronounced as if they are shifting into place, aligning with Marcus's words. The garden, though still, feels alive with this sense of unity, as though everything around you is in its right place, flowing together in perfect harmony. When you act with virtue, Marcus says, you are not only shaping your own soul, but you are contributing to the greater good of the universe. Your thoughts, your actions, your choices, they ripple out, affecting the world in ways you may never fully understand. Just as a single leaf falls from a tree and causes a ripple in the pond below, your life too has an impact on the world around you.